Good morning from Georgetown, Malaysia. We just got up this morning, got ready, and we have a big day planned because it's sort of like our only full day here in Georgetown before we head on to Kuala Lumpur. We're gonna go out for breakfast at a place that is apparently really good. We're gonna check out a museum and also check out Old Town this afternoon and this evening. Apparently there's some beautiful like colonial architecture, and yeah, we just arrived in the city last night. We had a really chill night because we were all feeling a little bit under the weather, but I think today we're ready to get at 'em. I mean, we were a little late getting started, classic for our group, but we're ready to get up and at 'em. And later I need to show you the view from our building and the view from our pool in this building that we're staying in because it's absolutely stunning. It's like a huge city skyline view. Last night we saw fireworks over one part of the city from our balcony and from our window, and it was just so special. We were watching a Christmas movie because it's almost Christmas time, but it does not feel like that because we've been traveling for so long. So it was actually really fun and cute to get into the holiday spirit and watch a Christmas movie. We watched the new Lindsay Lohan one, Our Little Secret, thanks to a recommendation from our friend Jamin. And I think this is our car, so let's go. Our first stop is a little breakfast here at the Mugshot Cafe. We've been using ChatGPT a lot to help us pick where we're going to eat and finding the best places to eat, and it actually has been working so well. This is an underrated modern day travel tip, is using ChatGPT to pick where you're going and pick where you're eating. I got a turkey and cranberry sauce bagel to support the holiday vibes. Delicious, very festive breakfast. Now we're just going on a little walk. It's about a 10-minute walk to the museum we're going to, which is at the Cheong house. It's a mansion, and now it's like a hotel and a museum. That's very representative of a specific time here in Malaysia and in Southeast Asia. And fun fact, the house was actually featured in Crazy Rich Asians, the movie. So let's go.
Okay, so it's really cool. You get this audio guide and you go through, and it's a 45-minute audio guide, and it's an app, and it's kind of cool. I'm happy to find this app now because it has places all over that you can do these different tour experiences. So we'll let you know at the end how it is.
I'm standing in the largest of 5 courtyards in the mansion, and this mansion, even though it was built over 100 years ago, was built to be feng shui perfect. At the time they would have used feng shui compasses and brought in feng shui masters to make sure that everything was built accordingly. Things like the courtyard being open so that nature's gifts can come in, to everything like an extra step on this side of the courtyard to correspond with the height of the house and the width of the walls. And even to this day, when feng shui masters come, they can feel that energy and say that it was built to feng shui perfection. So this mansion was made by a man named Jonny, and he was known as the Rockefeller of the East. He's very famous in China as he was born there, and then came here and had this vision to create a mansion that was ahead of its time in luxury and design and feng shui. And he was very inspired by combining Chinese and Western styles and influences, which was very representative of the time here in Malaysia. And you can see those styles reflected all throughout this mansion. Today the mansion is used as a hotel, and I can only imagine how beautiful and opulent it would feel to stay here.
Yeah, I think one of the really cool things too is that this house was like completely run down and almost destroyed, and they spent kind of like 4 to 5 years restoring it, and it has set a ton of best practices for restoration that's recognized internationally all over the world. And I think that's super cool to kind of see what can happen to something that is almost lost to history to be fully kind of conserved and preserved and turned back into the great that it was.
Some of these dresses and fabrics are representative of what would have been in fashion and worn at the time at the height of the mansion. And I also think it's really cool, there's some information in here about Tantepo, wife number 7, who was known to be the favorite wife of all the wives.
Something really cool with this that I just read is they did a site-specific play about this wife in this mansion.
So the Indigo restaurant that's upstairs is normally only for guests of the hotel or people who have reservations. But as we were peeking in, they let us go in and check it out. And it is very bougie. I would need to check my bank account before making that reservation. So the left and the right wing of this house are representative of the male wing and the female wing. And they actually have slightly different hues of indigo blue. This is the male wing on this side. And if you look across, the female wing is a slightly different shade of indigo.
He definitely is not a guest at this hotel. Breaking and entering right now.
Alright, we just finished the audio guide tour on the app here at the mansion.
It was really nice. It was about 45 minutes, which I think is a really nice length for an audio guide tour. And it isn't huge, but there was some really cool information.
And very cool like tie-ins to other European history and Chinese history.
And architecture that you see prevalent all through Georgetown. Like it really, like Jonathan already said, a colonial architectural stuff. And this gave a little bit more context of maybe why that was. And if you come here, I highly recommend the audio guide because I don't think I would have got very much out of it if I didn't have that. They also have a tour. We couldn't get into the tour, but
it's very much those audio guide vibes where it's like you could walk through and it would be like beautiful, but when you're listening and walking through, you get all the backstory, all the fun facts, which is nice.
Yeah.
And it makes us want to watch Crazy Rich Asians.
I know, I feel like we're one of the few people that have not seen that movie. And it makes me want to rewatch the film Indochina. Indochine, rewatch that one because it was filmed here during the restoration, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So
even comparing those two films, I'm sure it would be super cool. They're from different times, but that would be cool to compare.
Yeah. So good suggestion, me and ChatGPT.
Now we're gonna get some fresh juice. I got a honeydew juice.
I got mango juice. Look at you.
So we walked over to see the town hall of Georgetown, which is actually the oldest building in the city. It dates back all the way to the 1880s. But when it was first opened, it was used as a dance hall for European elites who came to visit. And all the way to today, it is still used, but actually for film shoots, including the film Anna and the King from the 1990s. Now we have arrived at the Pinang Peranakan mansion. It's another historical house here in Georgetown. And we're actually going to go on a guided tour in about 20 minutes to learn a little bit more of the history of this house specifically. I did see that there is a Chinese jewelry museum, so I will definitely be needing to check that out.
This is the colonial house. And the mansion, if you guys walked in, say 20 years ago, it was not in this condition. He came from mainland China, 1845, at the time he was 22 years old. He left his hometown China, arriving in Pinang Island. And that time they call pinang. In English means butternut island. There's no tea mining, there's only nutmeg and butternut and coconut tree. now it's a Silicon Island. Pinang Island is Silicon Island. My present boss said, so you can pretend in there. Later I can do that. This table is not original. The original long table. But women taking picture, woman sitting, gentleman standing. The husband, the boyfriend standing. During the British time, women have more status, it's more equal right. Before British time in here, like my grandfather's time, my grandmother had to stand or had to cooking in the kitchen. No equal right. You get an order. But British time, more liberated, more fair. If the women have more knowledge, more good education, more rights. Because they can tell the husband, oh, you do it yourself, we are equal right. But if
Alright, we just finished the tour here at the Penang Peranakan mansion. Super cool to do it right after the Blue Mansion too.
Yeah, it's like tour 2 different houses.
Yes.
And they were very much like styled differently. The first house really was about like the history of that guy and why he was so significant to like Chinese culture, to this Georgetown, where this one was much more about the like Chinese immigrants that like settled Georgetown and really had like a huge cultural influence on this area of Malaysia, and kind of talked about their culture, practices, religions. So both different, both interesting.
Yeah, I really appreciated about this tour too. They were very clear about the fact that this house wouldn't have necessarily looked like this if you walked in here 120 years ago. In the way that the other house, they were really trying to sort of give it a restoration and a feeling of like what it would have looked like.
Yes.
Whereas here, things were more set up as a display, but so that they could explain different cultural elements and different things like the opium room, to the cooking kitchens, to the types of jewelry and shoes, to explain some of those practices and what their cultural significance was as well.
Yeah, it's like the first one, the museum was the house,
Yeah.
and this one, the house holds the museum,
Yeah.
and it's actually like objects that are more the museum.
Really good way to put
I would say
it.
if you do this one, 100% do the tour.
Yeah.
There's not really signage anywhere, so you really, we didn't do the tour, we would have got none of that, but the tour was excellent.
Yeah, and we had to wait around for about 30-40 minutes before the tour started because they happen every hour. So worth it.
Yeah.
So worth it, would wait it again.
Yeah.
I loved it. Our tour guide was so cute and so
Funny.
knowledgeable. Yeah, it was super
Yeah,
nice.
and he's a Chinese man who's been in, like his family's been in Malaysia for a few generations, so I think he could give a really like good perspective on that. And yeah, I really liked both, but for different reasons. But I think I probably like learned more about Georgetown and the history at this museum.
Yeah.
But like I really appreciated the restoration and like the house at the end.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think I got maybe a little bit more historical and cultural context here, but both were seeing, and both gave me a little bit of a different side of the picture, which is super cool.
And now we're gonna go meet Chris and Dee because they went to the floating village, and we're gonna go meet them at a little cafe.
Let's go.
The challenge of wearing sneakers in Asia is you always come across places you have to take them off.
I miss my Crocs. Also, as a public service announcement, it is 31 degrees, feels like 36 degrees Celsius today.
And it feels like that.
Yeah, it's a hot one. Visiting houses today was a good idea. We just had a little coffee and a snack at this really cool cafe called China House, which is all divided into different rooms as the building goes on. But there's art galleries, there's reading rooms, upstairs there's shopping, so it's very unique. And there actually is a lot of really well-known street art here in Georgetown, so we're gonna go explore and find some of the well-known statues and art there now. Just one in my hand, or do I have to pro bowl? This one.
Oh, you got it. Oh, very good.
Wonton noodles. Oh boy. The famous wonton noodles from Georgetown. Kind of sesame, a little bit sesame tasting. That's nice. Really nice texture. Not spicy at all, just like a sesame flavor.
You're gonna have to put on emoji on V's face.
These are very tasty. I see what he says, it's like got a good soy sauce flavor to it. Oh, there's a little wonton too. Let me try.
There's one over here, fried one.
Ah, this is one boiled. Let's try. Do you want the fried or the boiled?
There's some jalapeno as well. You want the spices?
Oh, there's two of them.
Super yummy. Super yummy.
What are you rating it?
8 out of 10.
Ah,
650, huh?
650.
good price.
Yum. Next we're gonna try char kway teow. This was recommended also to us by the same person who recommended the wonton noodles, so I have high hopes. Oh, it looks very hot. It's super hot. Wait. Kind of reminds me of pad see ew in Thailand. It's like the rice noodles, but it is a little bit spicy and super salty. And the noodles are super soft and mushy, but in a good way. Like they're overly cooked in a good way. That's good. I would say that's 8.5 out of 10 for me.
You liked it better than the other one?
I think so. It's got a punch of flavor, this one. A punch of flavor. Yeah, really good. Really good. Okay, both of those were so delicious. This is another reason to vouch for asking a local where to go for food. We asked the gentleman who was helping Chris look at some glasses where we should go. There was like a bunch of places right on the street next to the glasses place that he recommended. We tried all of them and they were so good. It's like when you work somewhere, you know the good food that's around that area because you are eating around that area and you know where to go. So slay. We've done so much today. It's honestly been a while since I've been in a city where we have like one day to do and see what we can. So we really had to pick and choose what we were gonna do. But we did a lot. We saw some really cool museums, some amazing street art. I feel like we really got a good feel for the city of Georgetown. And even like the region of Penang that we're in, even just today. I know there's a lot more to discover, but we've tried some local food. I really like all the street art and the culture and really the fusion of cultures that there is here. It's such an intersection of different cultures and people in such a beautiful way and in a way that works so well. And I really have gotten such a great first impression of Georgetown so far. I'd love to come back. I'd love to spend a bit more time. I'm really excited to go to Kuala Lumpur next and see how it compares. After really enjoying Langkawi and then enjoying Georgetown probably even more. I think we're gonna like it, but it's gonna be different. I'm excited to compare. For now, we're gonna head home. We got some candies, we got some little ciders. We're gonna watch a show and just have a chill night before we travel again tomorrow. So I have to remember when we get back to show you the view because the view is incredible. We've been having quiet nights at home, partially because this hotel we're staying in is so stunning and the view is so amazing. It's so worth it to just chill and enjoy it. So I'll show you when we get home. Good night.